Hey, so welcome to the series of tutorials on heredity part 3. So today we would be talking about dihybrid cross. In the last video, part 2, we covered monohybrid cross, and today we would be talking about a dihybrid cross. So when you talk about a dihybrid cross, di means two. So now today we are going to talk about two characters and their inheritance. Actually, my hands are freezing. It's way too cold out here. So anyways, so two characters and their inheritance simultaneously. So when we talk about two characters and when we talk about their inheritance, there is a huge variation in the results that we see if we compare it to a monohybrid cross. So today we will take a look at it, and we shall see that how this thing actually happens and what kind of questions and how we can use it in our exam, or probably not use, but how it is going to be asked in your exams. So there is one thing which I would like to tell you guys today, is that today we need to work out on their gametes and various other things. So you might have to pause the video a lot of times. Don't worry, do it. You might want to sit with a notepad and a pen and please take notes. That's okay. Stop it and pause it and redo it, or whatever it takes. But make sure that by the end of this you guys understand it. And still, if you have any doubts or any queries, you can write it in the comment section below, and I shall get back to you the moment I get time. I cannot guarantee that, but definitely I'll give you a reply for sure. Okay, so now we will start with dihybrid cross. So when you talk about dihybrid cross, we need to start with the parent plant. Now in this case, when you talk about the parent plant, there are following traits that we are going to compare in our parent generation. So there is one variety of pea which always produces seeds which are round in shape, and the other one produces seeds which are wrinkled in shape. Okay, yeah. There is one that produces seeds which are round in shape and yellow in color. The one which produces wrinkled seeds, the color of the seeds is always green in color. So there is one variety which is always going to produce seeds which are round and yellow, and the other one which is going to produce seeds which are wrinkled and green. So now you need to understand one thing here, that round shape is one character. Yellow color is one character. So when you talk about the genotype of the parents, for round shape we need to have two genes. For yellow color we need to have two genes. Similarly, for wrinkled trait we need to have two genes, and for green color we need to have two genes. So I'm sure by now you might have understood. Wrinkled shape is recessive to round shape, and green color is recessive to yellow color. So now let's just talk about their gametes. Now that is interesting. So for that I'll do one thing. I'll take you to some slide that I've set here so that I can make it easy for you to understand it. Now let's just get a table here. So we will talk about the gametes. So you know that whenever the gametes are supposed to be formed, the pair of genes, which is R and R, Y and Y, they need to split. And in my first video I told you that no matter these pairs they split, but each gamete should have the correct amount of genetic information in it, and that too in half, haploid. So if someone has two pair of chromosomes, let's just call them as chromosomes for our convenience. So if the organism has 2 pairs of chromosomes in it, which is the total number of chromosomes it has is 4. So in its gametes, we are supposed to have 2 chromosomes, one of this type and the other one is of this type. So now to do that, let's just write similar genes at one side and the other ones at the other side. So this R comes from here and Y. So these are the possible combinations that we can get in the gametes, right? Similarly, for the one which is wrinkled and green, the combination of gametes would be like this. There is no other combination which is possible. True? Okay, so now we shall just get back to the cross and here we go. Okay, so when you talk about their gametes, now we know that for this one, the gametes that we have got are this and this, and for this one it is this and this. So now we talk about the parent cross, or the cross between the 2 parents. So this is a hybrid, it is happening between 2. So what Mendel exactly did is he removed the stamens of the flower, since pea flower is bisexual, and then he dusted the pollens from the flower, which was the plant which was producing round and yellow, onto the plant which was producing wrinkled and green seeds. Similarly, he took the pollens from the plant, stamens from the plant which was producing wrinkled and green seeds and dusted them over to the pistils of the flowers of the plant who were producing round and yellow seeds. So when you talk about the cross between these parents now, so again we can get into that box, the Punnett square that we always draw. So I'll divide this into 4. And now you have to be cautious here. This is a common mistake that we all do. Make sure that you write the complete gametes, because at times we tend to write only R or only Y, or maybe this R and this Y. But make sure you are not doing that mistake. So now when we have to fill in this box, we will consider one thing. R and R will be together since they are alleles. Y and Y will be together since they are alleles. You will write capital R first because it is dominant, capital Y first because it is dominant. Now why am I calling them as alleles? This one, capital R, is supposed to decide the shape of the seed. Similarly, small r is also for deciding the shape of the seed. However, this one is giving round shape and this one is giving wrinkled shape. So, similarly, R, R, Y, Y, R, R, Y, Y, R, R, Y, Y. So, parent also had 4 chromosomes, we call them at that point in time, or 4 genes. So similarly, their F1 generation, the kids, will also have the same type of genotype. So if we write the genotype, you need to write this 4 times. I'm not writing it because it is the same thing here. So if this is the genotype, then definitely you know the phenotype by now. Capital R will give them round shape. Capital Y will definitely give them yellow color. So all the plants in F1 generation will have the seeds which are round in shape and yellow in color. So we can say now that round and yellow is dominant over wrinkled and green. So now let's just take this further. So now we talk about the selfing of F1. So this time the genotype of our parents is a little different. It's capital R with small r, capital Y with small y. Similarly, capital R, capital Y, small y. Now you need to understand one thing here. I'm repeating it for you. If we are assuming this to be the genotype of the plant, so we need to understand one thing, that each and every cell will have this type of genotype. True. And when meiosis happen in sexual reproduction, these pairs, they need to split apart. So again, we shall go back to the table from where we always learn to make our gametes. So we are back to the slide. Now we have the previous work here for our reference. So I'll write the gametes here this time. So here we go. R, Y, and Y. This is the genotype. This will break, this will break. So just like we did it here, we'll write them here now. So we have capital R, capital Y, small y. So now what we get here is capital R with capital Y, capital R with small y, small r with capital Y, small r with small y. Now you might be wondering that why did I write this small r in front of the capital Y, though it's recessive. See, we need to understand here, we are always writing the gene for the shape first. So we need to keep that trend maintained here. So if you compare these gametes with the ones that we got earlier, you will see that there is a difference. We have capital R with capital Y, capital R with small y, small r with capital Y, and then small r with small y. Similarly, this is something that we are going to get for the other parent as well, because they both have the same genotype, which was this. So now we have the gametes, and with these gametes we understand one thing, that shape and color, shape of the seed and color of the seed, they are independent of each other. That is why we could get all these combinations here. So now we shall get back to our original slide. So once we are here, and now we can write the gametes, so I'll just quickly write them down here for you. So for the first parent, capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, and then we got small r with capital Y, small r with small y. Similarly, for this one, capital R, capital Y, capital R with small y, small r with capital Y, small r with small y. So this time we have 4 combinations which are possible if we talk in terms of gametes. So the F1 cross here becomes a little big because we have to talk about all these.